grandfather Dean was an amazing man. He was a World War II battle vet. He was a millwright, and he was one of the most amazing woodworkers I know. He could build you things out of wood that belonged on a showroom floor. As a young kid, he would allow me to be in his wood shop with him, and I would watch the man. I studied him. He was my hero. Dedicated not only a half sleeve, but my entire chest on the left-hand side of the man. As you go out into my grandfather's wood shop, there was a light switch plate, and on it he had painted the words Dean's Dustbin, and had a little handsaw painted down the center of it. And you'd walk out into that old shop, and you would flick on the light, and the dustbin would come to life. And I remember that light switch plate so vividly. The old wooden handsaws. As I grew up, I was allowed to play in the wood shop with him, and I used to help him. I would learn how he would use all these machines. And as I grew up, I got to work more and more with him in his wood shop. I learned his ways. I helped him build things. I remember when I was about third grade, we spent an entire summer helping him build something, little to know that it was going to be a playhouse for our backyard. And it was special because it was not only made for Grandpa, but made from us. As I grew into my own, I loved crafting, I loved painting, I loved building things. And I always use a little bit of what he taught me in everything. I may not build you the fine oak furniture, but I know how to. I use his ways to do things properly, but I use it in a way that I can build what I want. My grandfather had this old Ford pickup when I was a kid. He was so proud of that truck. I think it was an 80s. I'm not 100% sure. But he was so proud of that truck. He had two things on it that always stick out in my brain. First was a giant bug guard across the front of it. Proudly in big letters, it was our last name. But the second one was his beloved Mack Truck Bulldog ornament. My dad gave that to me when he gave me the drill press, and I couldn't think of a better place to mount it than right on the front of Grandpa's drill press. Grandpa passed away, the dustbin was dismantled. It was split up between my father and my uncle. Some machines went here, some machines went there, but it was the end of an era. Then in 2020, we'll wait for the car. In 2020, when the global pandemic happened, I found myself amongst the unemployed. First time in my entire life. I am not good at sitting still, never have been, and I needed something to do. So during that time, I became very productive. I learned how to do wood burning, and I started some of my own very rudimentary building. I didn't have many tools, but I wanted to start woodworking to give myself a pastime and a hobby. And this is kind of where it all began again. I remember sending my brother a text. I had just spent the day hand sanding some children's blocks, and I was covered in dust. And I just remember sending my brother a text that said, "I really feel like Grandpa these days." And it was a picture of my block and my
sawdust covered pants. And I felt so close to him once again. In 2021, my father and my uncle took notice of what I was doing and my desire to be like my grandfather. And they agreed that if his grandson wanted to take up a family tradition, so to speak, that they would help me. As of August 30th, 2021, they graciously gifted me with my grandfather's entire shop. The dustbin was about to live again. My plans with my grandfather's machines are very simple. I have a very unique imagination. I have a very unique vision, and I have a very unique way of doing things. I like repurposing. I like looking at things and finding out what I can turn it into. And now that I have the dustbin, it's time to see what I can actually do given the proper tools. So that is what this is going to be. This is the 2021 version of Dean's Dustbin. I can't wait to see where this goes. Welcome home, Grandpa. It's time to go to work. If you made it this far, thanks for watching. Dean's Dustbin is a YouTube channel that I will be using to show the weird way I build things and the unique things that come out of my brain. Terrible time to start a YouTube channel with woodworking involved because wood is expensive as hell right now. So that is going to really limit what I do. There's not going to be a schedule. There's just going to be the, hey, I'm going to build something. So here we go. So your best chance to figure out how this is all going to work out, subscribe, hit the little bell icon. It'll tell you when I upload stuff. Like I said, there's not going to be a schedule. It's just going to be at my own whim. I still got a job. I got a significant other. I got to, do all this stuff and try not to deal with loud cars driving by and try to be an actual decent human being. So that's kind of the plan. If you want to stick around and see what I get up to, I can tell you the first one's coming. It's going to be a coffee table. Doesn't sound like it's too great, right? Got some ideas. So let's see what we can get into. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe. We'll see you somewhere in October-ish.